Welcome to another episode of Intro to Anime. In this episode, we talk about fairy tale animes and how I am sick of seeing the medieval times. We go super deep into Megalobox and how it is the new Pokemon. That's not true, but we make a lot of jokes about that. We talk about Demon Slayer and how we are super behind on that. We just went to an anime convention here in New York City, so we're riding off the high from that. There's a lot to talk about in this episode. We also go over every single new anime we're watching, and the list is long, my dear friends. So tune in, stay strapped, and enjoy this new episode of Intro to Anime. Welcome to another episode of Intro to Anime. It's your guy, John Hill.
It's your boy, Matt.
What's up? We out here trying to live fat. Matthew, you just got home to South Carolina. Speaking of fat, Matt.
Yeah.
How's it
remember
feel?
My hero?
Yes.
Yeah.
We already talked about that. We already reacted to
Segue
it.
right into. Oh, okay.
Perfect segue. Matt,
Yeah.
how's
Sweet
it
up.
how's it like being back in South Carolina from your New York trip?
It's nice, man. I like the suburban, slow lifestyle. I was talking to the taxi driver actually on the way back home, and yeah, she was like, "I've never been. I don't ever want to go. I feel like it's too slow paced. Oh no, too fast paced for me."
The taxi
I was
driver said that, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, it's pretty quick." She goes, "Yeah, I like it here. South Carolina, it's real slow paced. It's real slow paced in South Carolina compared to New York City."
I did too.
So-
I mean, I actually like slow pace too. That's why when I go to New Jersey from South Carolina, it's just like South Carolina. Wait, from Manhattan, I love it because the change of pace is what I like. So I actually like fast pace if I've been in slow pace, but I like like I just need a breath of both consistently.
Yeah.
Like every couple.
A little
weeks.
change up sometimes.
But you already know.
I already know.
Gee, bruh. So what should we talk about first? I have a whole list of things that I feel like we can cover. But
We got some animes to talk about, huh?
dude, we got the most anime that we both obsessed over and watched within the last week to talk about, and it's a little show that I like to call Pokemon, and by that I mean Megalobox.
Yeah, it's just like it,
Dude.
And it's funny you say that because Pokemon Sword and Shield just came out.
Exactly.
Yeah, we are not advertisers for Game Freak. I'm not even sure if Game Freak did it, but
They would
or
probably
Pokemon.
pay us $1 million to talk about it.
Prob-
Pokemon only sponsors the biggest people in the world.
Yeah, but we're so big that we don't even take that from Pokemon.
Exactly.
Like, oh, you want us to sponsor you? Nah.
Yeah, and they were like, well, yeah, we want to
Nah.
give you a free. We're like, nah. But like 100
Yeah,
million,
exactly.
nah.
Yeah, as soon as they like ring, we just like answer, and all we hear them say is "we," and then we say "nah."
Yeah.
What? Nah.
And they're like, why'd you even answer?
then
I'm like,
we-
nah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
just hang up the phone.
Yeah.
We slam it actually. So
We just wanted to say congratulations. Nah. That's how we do it.
he likes literally spit all over my fucking keyboard.
We're big fans of you, nah. So Megalobox.
Yeah, Megalobox.
For me, Jiminy Cricket, dude. That's like,
Yeah, Pinocchio, yo.
you know what I'm saying, though? I want to watch
Yeah.
it immediately after that. It was
Geppetto, yo.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, Donatello,
Oh.
dude. That's what I'm saying.
Hello, some Mo.
You know, Mo? Tagato is what I like to say. Dude, the show is fudging Brilliante. So that is my favorite genre of anime I found out. Well, I don't know, dude. I keep saying that with every new genre, but I started watching Mob Psycho again, obviously. I watched the first episode yesterday and I was like, I like this. Cowboy Bebop, I like this. Megalobox is 100% added to that list of like, and a lot of people say it's the modern day. I hear that shit all the time, like, oh, dude, it's the modern. But people say it's the modern day Cowboy Bebop, which I feel like you can't do for anything.
Dude, Cowboy Bebop, it's crazy. Cowboy Bebop is still like, it's about 20 years old now,
Yeah,
which is insane. And when
It
I
is.
hear modern day Cowboy Bebop, I'm like, because I haven't heard that, right? I haven't heard any actually review on Megalobox.
okay.
So when I hear modern day Cowboy Bebop, I'm like, Cowboy Bebop was just like yesterday, man.
I know. I call it
that's
the
just-
modern day Pokemon.
There you go.
Yeah. I feel like people just
Bring it
throw that
back.
around. They just throw it around to anything. Because, it is like Cowboy Bebop in a lot of ways. But Cowboy Bebop seems like the modern Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Megalobox is about this guy named Joe. I like to call him Gearless Joe. He's a tough dude from the poor side of the wrong side of the tracks. He likes to fight in these arenas underdog style, and he has a coach that helps him out. They fix the fights. Gearless Joe could win every single fight. I don't know what I'm trying to do here.
It's good.
He's very.
Are you reading off of anything?
No, I'm just saying it.
Oh wow, that's pretty impressive.
Thank you. Gearless Joe is extremely talented. He can win all of these underground fights, but he chooses to lose because they need to make money. But the coach, his coach, is in super, super deep with this crazy, intimidating, big guy who seemingly could kill him and all of their families really easily if they don't abide by their rules. So bada bing, bada boom. This is the premise of the story. This is where it starts, is this dirtbag who, you know, he wants to fulfill his big dreams of actually fighting and doing cool things, but he's limited to the pressures of society. No, I'm just kidding. Of just being, you know, killed at the end. So, dude, very American premise right off the bat. Rocky vibes.
Yep.
And I like it.
It was good. Okay, so next topic?
Yep. So My Hero Academia.
No, Megalobox is amazing, man. It's that art style. Like when I started watching, I was like, dude, I don't know what attributes qualify for this, but I can't really articulate too much on that. But like, it's got a total Adult Swim vibe.
Yeah. You said that actually, and I don't even know what that means, but I just kind of
That's why it's like it's hard to articulate that. Like when I think of something, I mean, it's got like some kind of like what's it called, the Boondocks and Cowboy Bebop vibe. Mainly Cowboy Bebop vibe because like the main character has similar hair.
Yeah, he does.
It's a character that who doesn't really give a shit.
Has the darkness quality of like the actual footage.
Right, and you have that like kind of slummy, futuristic feel. Right, that's like the gears and stuff, and everything's kind of they're pretty much in the slums. Yeah, when they're doing all this underground fighting and stuff. And it's futuristic and it's got a good vibe. I liked it a lot. Character development, the art style. I think that was pretty much like the main stuff, right? Like character development. Well, actually, not even the character development. The camaraderie between all the characters, right? Like the kids and Joe and I can't believe I can't remember the coach's name.
That's okay. I can't either. I never can.
Goodness gracious! But yeah, like I think just how they were all like interacted with each other and how they grew together. That's always like a feel good thing. And
it's so
shows,
good.
It's
so
like,
good.
Some shows do it well, but this one I think killed it.
So what Megalobox is the arena where all like the world's best fighters get to fight in. So the reason he's called Gearless Joe is because in this world they're trying to use this assistant technology to put on your back that kind of helps you fight better. It goes around your arms. It's new technology. So they're even building out AI versions of this where the technology on your shoulders can determine what the next person's going to do in attacks. So it is the future. So Joe, basically the point I think that they're trying to get across right off the bat is that it's the fighter, it's not the gear. So Joe's gimmick to get into the fights is that he has no gear. So the whole world's like, whoa, what's this dude doing? So at first it's a gimmick, but then it becomes like an essential part of his character. Yeah. And hot doggity.
Yeah, they name a couple reasons why it could be more beneficial. In my head, I feel like the gear is like, honestly, the scaling wise, like, because you notice how in the beginning, a geared person, when they punched Joe, like the first fight, you like almost knocked him the fuck out, right?
Yeah.
And then like, later on, he was just taking them blows from like even like more professional fighters, right? So like, it was more like they were trying to. I think they were at some point they were trying to give reasons why like maybe the gear definitely didn't define the fighter because. The one issue the gear had was that there was a lag time.
Yep. Between
the brain and the actual gear.
Right. Slight delay, like milliseconds, but slight delay, obviously.
Yeah, and it was enough to like influence a lot of it. So, but yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I keep thinking of these over. There's so much that's given to you in the first episode. Like nothing we've told you so far, you don't see in the first episode. But It feels. I'm trying not to give away anything, but it's one season so far.
Yeah.
I can say that. I've given you kind of the first premise. In the first episode, I'll give you just a few details. They're minor spoilers just because it is the first episode. So I would just say, go to Hulu, watch that ish right away. I promise, if you like anime at all, in my head, I'm like, you have to like this. I don't. Yeah. It's like, Cowboy Bebop. How can you?
And what's
not
crazy
like
is that so I think you prefer subtitled. Oh, no, dubbed, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. What's crazy, I guess, is it was right up your alley, and it was good enough where you could just kind of brace through the subtitle. And I think the only other time you've done it was with Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, it was subtitles.
Yeah.
I forgot that it wasn't dubbed. I just watched it. I was so entranced by it because I like dub. You and I like dub because we can sort of do other things while we're watching it. We like to just like take it in. But this one, you have to focus. That's the thing with sub. And that was a blessing, dude. To be able to focus that hard on it, I was like, so it's pretty amazing.
You said you had moments where you were like...
Well, there was one moment where I almost cried and I paused it. I don't want to give away anything about that part, but literally there was a part where I was in a store and it got so intense, my eyes started watering, so I paused it and I waited till I got home to watch it by myself. Like, I was like, okay, Sarah's not home, I'm going to watch this. And I was like screaming at the TV like, get it! Yeah. Well, you got to think too, if you've watched any Rocky movies... That boxing vibe, the thing is, like, we talked about this last week, where we don't even like watching violent things. Like, we don't like MMA, don't like sports. I don't even like boxing. But this show, well, it's the same thing, we don't like volleyball, but that Hyuuki show?
Yeah, Hyaku?
It's awesome.
Hyaku?
Yeah. The cartoon, like, that romanticization or whatever, sports and stuff, they killed it. And the boxing, and it was, like, futuristic, different, whatever. It was a super good feel. So... I want to give one more premise of like the first episode, kind of the overarching, just to entice you. I don't know why. This is an ad for Megalobox. It's not, but it's so good. But the whole thing is basically like he wants to get into this arena to fight, but he's in the slums, so he has to go through hell and whatever to get into the actual stadium. But in the first episode, he meets his like arch rival or whatever, and you feel the vibe the whole time of like these two. You feel like they come from complete opposite backgrounds because that's just the vibe you get. But you know what? There's a lot to learn. So as you watch, you're like, eh.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. So yeah.
Pretty much. I'm trying to think of a way to like go through this show without like spoiling anything, because one thing about the show that's also really great is like they don't really focus on a story, and the viewers should not either, because it's not like it definitely has a very simple story.
Yeah.
The story is just straightforward, right? Like John said, it was like he sees his rival, and there you go.
Can't wait for them
That's
to
how
fight.
it goes.
Yeah. Can't wait.
And they're like, I want to fight you again. And it's like, okay. And so they just go from there, and you have all these like little subplots along the way. But yeah, I think that's the kind of magic about the show is that they. I feel like I've already said this before, but that you don't really need to set up a crazy story, because if you have the characters and the like relationships in place already, it can kind of build the story for you, and that's what the show pretty much does. So
right.
All they do is just add a little bit. Even boxing in general, and kind of like any like competitive show, if you have a rival, you can always hear about that story, and they produce some pretty awesome stories too, in my opinion. So I could see the smile on your face. You're like,
I love it, dude.
Like you're like, are you remembering back to a certain
reliving
point?
it. Well, I'm reliving what you're saying about the rivalry, but then also like just the like it's anime, so obviously the character development of certain characters that are close to him, the coach and his assistants and friends, etc. It is like so beautiful how Matt was saying their camaraderie and how they grow together. Like seeing how each new growth of each character lends to the other characters is like so sick, dude. Because I keep thinking about that one scene that made me almost cry or whatever, and I'm just like, fuck, man. It's like, Anyway, so if you've seen it, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, 2020 recommendation. Like, I don't know how to, but
it's really good.
You being more, since you've been in the world for anime a lot longer than I, and you have like friends who are in it. How do things like that go when you like see a show like that? Like to me, where I'm like 100% recommend no matter what. Since you've been around all the recommendations and all the friend circles, do you go to people and say like I'd 100% recommend it, or do you say are you a little softer about it? Like are you like that's pretty good?
I might be a little softer just because like there's so much anime out there. It's golly, dude. Like, I mean, if you just hear me speak on this and talk about anime, like, I'll go down a list. I'll usually say, oh yeah, that's one of my favorite animes. That's one of my favorite animes because I have so many like awesome animes I've seen.
Yeah.
I would say so. If I were to tell someone about this anime, I'd be like, it's a very good anime. That's what I would say. And yeah, I don't know. I've never seen another boxing anime. I think the popular one was that Ippo something anime. Right?
Yeah,
I think it's been suggested to us.
Yes.
Yeah, but I feel like for me, almost like the boxing is cool in this anime, but I think it's different. If the Ippo anime is purely focused on boxing, I think this one's probably more focused on like kind of like a finesse, right? Like
Right.
Certain character qualities, the art style. That's one thing we didn't even mention. Is like the art style is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like
so cool.
it's got that lo-fi. It really reminds me of Samurai Champloo.
Yes. Yes.
To a good degree. So I would say like if you like Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop, and I would always precursor this with that is if you like Cowboy Bebop or Samurai Champloo, then you're gonna and Boondocks honestly, if you're gonna fucking love it. I think.
I agree.
Yeah, I think the art style is boss.
It's a bonkers as a fudger.
Yeah.
Well, since Matthew is limited on time today, I guess we should just go ahead and move on to the next subject.
Don't tell me what to do.
Oh, sorry. So one thing I want to talk about real fast, it's kind of a 2-in-1 type deal. But I wanted to talk about Fairy Tail just a little bit because it's a new show that I'm on. But also, I mentioned this to you, how I'm kind of tired of seeing like medieval fairy tale animes.
You know, it's funny, like, however long I've been watching anime and stuff, I've never even considered that how many medieval style animes, like magical medieval style animes there are. Dude. It's flooded, really.
It's shocking. So like I kept watching the ones that Funimation was recommending, and they basically sent me down a list of seeing what was the newest one I watched? Fairy Tail. But
Shield Hero?
So Shield Hero, I wrote this down somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah. Sword Art Online, The Rising of the Shield Hero, and Kemono Michi. So 3 different animes I watched the first episode of, and maybe that's why I got burnt, is because I think they were all in a row. But Sword Art Online is the one where they get trapped in a game and they have to basically battle their way out or they'll actually die in real life. The Rising of the Shield Hero, just like Sword Art Online, is based on like gamifying real life. And like, you know, you have like the menu in real life. It's like basically, well, what the future is going to be. I mean, we're going to have situations that I think are similar to both those movies, maybe when we're like 60 or so. Kemono Michi, clearly a comedy, but just like, maybe I have to get more into it. It's literally about a professional wrestler who has a weird obsession with animals. Actually, I relate to that pretty heavily. Has an obsession with animals, so he carries this cute dog around. He's this buff dude in like an underwear garment, like wrestling, and he gets sent back, of course, to the medieval times. Like right when he got teleported, I'm like, dog, don't do it. Just put him in, go just a little far back or farther back. Don't get caught in that middle. And of course, you hear like, welcome to our land of the castles of Notre Dame. And you're like, oh, yeah. You just hear like, so the king starts going in on him and basically like crazy fanfare right at the beginning. Even the thumbnail of it has like 4 or 5 girls around him. So I think it's one of those. I don't know what it's called, but like.
Harem?
When everyone obsesses over I think it's definitely going to be one of those.
All the girls, yeah.
But the key thing is, the part that I kind of actually like, and just a funny, it seems like just a random thought that somebody threw out there. Professional wrestler, they're like, what are you going to go to next? MMA, etc. And he's like, I want to open up a pet store and like, you know, give the world the treasure of pets, which is beautiful. But by the time I was done watching that show, I was like, you know what? Cool, but if I see another night, I'm going to, which is ironic. Dude, I literally watched 7 Deadly Sins yesterday, too.
Did you?
I watched the first episode.
Oh.
I did.
So, yeah, you do have to. Okay,
that's
so
5.
I'm like,
Fairy Tail and 7 Deadly Sins included into that list.
Yeah, I think of all the ones you named, well, I've seen Sword Art Online. Okay. Yeah, I watched the first episode of Fairy Tail. I can't remember it. Yeah, the luchador. I honestly, I think you can, if you've seen anime long enough, or not even long enough, just a couple animes, you have a good idea when you start an anime that it's going to be that style anime.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Fairy Tail because, I mean, I went through Bleach. I've seen like 20 episodes of Naruto. You know, when you're starting off, you're like, it's going to be one of those long ass shonens, or like Black Clover. You know, the first episode, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be one of those. So,
Yeah, all of them felt very predictable. Have you seen Seven Deadly Sins?
yeah. So I'm like current with that one. That one is that one is a bit different than like Fairy Tail, I think.
It seems a bit different. I enjoyed that one. That one actually had a lot of like art design that reminded me of something. It didn't look very anime-ish. Like
Right.
clearly it does when they fight and stuff like that, but like, and the girls and stuff, but the main guy at the beginning, he actually looked kind of more like cartoony than anime-ish, so I actually was kind of interested.
Like Astro Boy or something like that.
Yeah. It looked
That's
very,
how-
very simple. Like,
Yeah.
but in the story, the first episode when it ended, I was actually like, oh, that's a really cool story plot. Like that was really cool right off the bat. Gives you like a really strong feel.
Yeah.
Medieval times though, you know. But, like,
Yeah. Seven Deadly Sins is fun. It's a lot. It's another shonen with a lot of things going on. It can be kind of a mess sometimes. It is pretty messy, but I think with one thing going into it, it's just you should only be thinking like, okay, this is just like entertaining. Differently from like say a show like let me just randomly pick one like Tokyo Ghoul where
yeah, that's a random
you
one.
know you just go into it and you kind of thinking like, okay, I'm looking for like a cohesive story. There's like a very central point, it seems like, and and then just kind of goes ham on that. These other shows, I mean, you expect those shows to be like that, like Seven Deadly Sins and stuff, because it's pretty wild. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's very comic too.
It's very comic-y.
Yeah, like it's comedy.
Oh, comedy. Yeah. So yeah, for me, it's now that I mean, seriously, how many first episodes of animes have I watched since we started this podcast? Probably like 40 at this point.
Yeah.
And very rarely I have figured out. Maybe it's like 6 or 7 out of that whole entire list. Made me want to watch the second episode. I don't know what it is. I think it's what you said, where you really feel like you know what's going to happen next, and it really does pull you away from wanting to watch the next episode, especially like as 30-year-olds. Our time, we're like, oh, time's so limited. Like, and that's everyone saying like. Everyone keeps saying this. It doesn't take that long to go through Naruto. And I'm like, okay.
Holy shit.
I'm like 700 episodes? Okay.
I watched like 20 fucking episodes of Naruto, so I'm like, I have a good idea of that.
Predictable?
So I'll say like, I mean, it's just familiar.
Right.
I can't say predictable because, I mean, the thing about shonens, and I guess the beauty of it, is that they can introduce, crazy bullshit just out of the air. Like, oh, that's their, I'm gonna sound so stupid, that's their ninjutsu style, like, toad spell, whatever.
Yeah.
Then they're like, okay, well, behind the scenes, I've been training for, like, decades, or I went through a hyperbolic time chamber, and now, like, I can do this spell. And, like, I mean, you can pull, like, literally anything out the fucking air. Like, I literally just combined Naruto bullshit with Dragon Ball Z. So,
but it probably happens in Naruto sometime, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And probably every other anime I've mentioned so far. And that's the thing. That's what's funny is when you mention Attack of Titans, like, from what I've seen of it so far, I'm like, I know I would enjoy this anime for the sake of it not being a repetitive, like,
right.
Because that right off the bat, right when you even hear the plot, you have no idea what's going to happen. Because it's so dark that you know that it's like, hopefully they survive. I don't know. Like, in my head, I'm like, God, that would be such a fun ride if I could deal with seeing the gore of it and not be such a pansy about it. But yeah, all these other ones, like the 5 that I named.
Have you seen the first episode of Attack on Titan?
I'm still too scared, but I have it loaded up, and I'm like, ooh, can I deal with this right now?
I would say go through it. If you can get through the first episode, because I don't think the first episode's too bad.
Okay.
And it pretty much, I think I've said this before, it sets the tone for the rest of the show. So, yeah. I'll
try it. Yeah, because I need. Awesome. And one thing I feel like I've noticed a little bit is that maybe I am more interested in animes that are targeted towards older audiences. Because at first I was like, I think I like all of them the same way kids would like them, because we never really grow up inside, I guess. But I think I'm like, the track record shows like Megalobox is, I think, definitely targeted towards a slightly older audience than like Fairy Tale.
It would feel like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they would still like it.
I don't know why that is. But I feel like shows like Cowboy Bebop even and Samurai Champloo, they just have like a. Maybe it's because it's less cartoony.
Yeah.
Maybe that attribute alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samurai Champloo is killing it for me. I will say this though, I didn't. Samurai Champloo, I went into it for the first time in a long time with actually too high of expectations. Yeah, because I just got down Cowboy Bebop, and then I watched a review. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I watched a review on it that was like, God, I wish I could go back without ever seeing it before. And I was like, this is going to be the best show in the world. And it actually, the first like 15 episodes, I remember, or like 15, maybe 12 episodes, I wasn't crazy hooked. Like I was kind of like, this is cool. Because the story, that storyline too, sometimes it'll, just for the fun of it, like super break the pattern of what the show's been going through. Like I just watched an episode where they had a baseball episode. You know, Dragon Ball Z has baseball. That one, Dragon Ball Super.
I'm not gonna lie, that baseball episode is
so good,
fucking funny.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's
Yamcha
good.
finally has like a moment and stuff. Like
it's so good.
Yo, the guys just knew what was like. They were like, this is what the audience wants, and like we didn't even know what we wanted. And I'm watching, I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
That's the thing. It's like these shows it's so hard to write. I can't imagine how hard it is to write these stories. Like even shows like Fairy Tail, it's like clearly they go down a path that's familiar and we all kind of understand like what's going to happen. And then of course they try to throw these like small things in there, but nothing ever really, but you want that familiarity. You're like, you don't think you want it, but then you're like, oh, this is so comfortable. But then for me at this point in my life, I feel like I need like inspiration for me only comes from things kind of breaking that like mold, I think, at least a little bit. Yeah. That's what makes me like pumped to like go out and do stuff and have fun and create and stuff is like, I need that little break of scenery. So that's why the medieval things, the funny thing is too, I still love and romanticize that time period. I still listen to like the tavern music, RPG stuff, whatever. So when I first see it, a part of me is kind of like, oh, I like this. It's fun. But then just when you see how like everything works and the knights are yelling and then, you know, there's like princesses and stuff, I'm like, it's like, there's nothing. I need something to completely break this. Like, you know, I don't know. So those shows they're not killing it for me, but I'll have to, you know what we should talk about and what we should definitely watch? And I'm actually being genuine. Demon Slayer.
Who dat?
It's this guy, based on a guy. Dude, that's the one that's the one everyone's recommended, dude. And at that, like,
anime convention?
At the anime convention? Oh my gosh, dude. Literally 20% of people 20% of people are probably wearing that, and then the rest of the 80 wearing My Hero Academia, aka Baku no Hero Academia. That's what I call it.
Nice.
I'm like a legit anime dude.
Oh yeah?
You know?
That's what you call it?
Yeah, dude.
That's what true anime fans call it.
Exactly, dude. That's like I'm there, dude. I actually, what's funny is how many episodes of Demon Slayer did you actually watch?
1.
Okay, same. I wonder if we'd like it.
I know I would like it. That's one show like so I think I have a pretty good idea like when I go into a show. Excuse me?
Nothing. I was just thinking of something in my head.
Okay. How about next? Shut your fucking mouth.
Whoa, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There are people listening, man.
I don't know. Well, came over me.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was strange. But so what was I saying, young man?
I heard you say something about coming over me.
Oh
like, I don't know what came on me.
Sarah's perfect timing.
Babe.
I look like a ghost.
Yeah, you do. Are you leaving?
How do you like your new monitor?
What were we talking about before we were rudely interrupted?
Love
you, babe.
Demon Mayer?
Demon John Mayer. So you know you would like it. Why?
Yeah. You went to one of those concerts, didn't you? John Mayer concert?
Yeah. I've only been to 2 concerts since I've been an adult, and it's Drake and John Mayer.
Yeah, funny. That's like since I've been an adult.
Since I've been like literally since I've been like 18.
Did you went to a concert when you were like not an adult?
I think when I was younger, I went to like a Christian concert or something in Columbia. I've never really been to concerts. I think I can only remember. Oh, I went to, anyways, like 4 in my life. But recently, since I've lived in New York City, that's since I'm an adult, since I turned 28 in New York.
I'm still getting there, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've seen Drake and John Mayer. And
dang, dude,
pretty legit.
So that's like your genre, right?
That's my genre. Just like kind of a right around those two.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's like the audience.
It's pretty specific, yeah.
The funny thing about the Drake concert, I have never seen that many white people yelling the N-word as loud as they possibly could.
That's like maybe the one moment that they're allowed to.
Yeah, totally, dude.
You think Drake's up there like, I fucking hate these people?
I think Drake's used to that a little bit, but I know like Kendrick Lamar, I'm sure. Like Kendrick Lamar, I saw an interview where he was basically saying like, dude, like he was saying it in a good way. He was like, dude, I still remember the first time like white people were singing in the audience. He's like, I grew up and I'd never seen a white person before. So he'd never seen a white person growing up. And he was like, dude, them singing my songs, I was like, damn, this is spreading to the nations. Like he was all happy about it. But Drake, I'm sure, is like so used to white people that he's like, whatever, dude. Like the group in front of me was like, I'm not joking, 15 to 17-year-old white girls. Like they looked like they were going to be in a sorority. There was like 15 of them, and they're just like
Valley girls,
just yelling the N-word, dude. I was like
that's the only word they're yelling.
Yeah. They weren't even singing the words right. They were just like N-word,
and then they just yell that N-word
over and over. He gets quiet. He's like, all right, let's take a moment of silence. All the girls in the front just yelling the N-word.
They just go into like chorus.
Dude, it was insane. But yeah, I mean, I think it is okay there because like I was looking around at the whole audience watching mouths, and everyone was just doing it. So, which I think maybe Drake knows that adds a level of like breaking, being free.
Right.
Like I can finally insult black culture and black people. Like, all right. No, I know it's not like that. You know what's funny is I know kids like 17 and 15 didn't grow up in a world near as racist as the world we grew up in. So they don't even they don't know what that is. So like they're saying the N-word casually, like white people in certain schools and stuff. And like of course they shouldn't, and black people tell them eventually, but they don't even know. They're just like, bro, what's racism? You have to explain it like,
You know what's funny? Like saying that now, like right? We're like, kids don't even know. Like, I mean, when we were there, yeah, it was pretty hardcore, especially with me growing up in South Carolina. Love South Carolina, but you got some issues sometimes. But so like our parents, right? Like, they're like, yo,
yeah,
you thought this was racist,
and their parents, they're like,
oh my god,
we were racist,
yeah.
And them, I'm sure
their parents
own people, at that point. But pretty fudged up. Concerts were good though. Good music.
Yeah. So what were we talking about?
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer, yeah.
Why do you think? God dang it, my voice cracked.
Oh, did?
Yeah, I did really badly.
Yeah, my voice cracked earlier, but I just kind of like.
I think it was the mic actually. Mike voice cracked.
Yeah, right. Your mic voice cracked. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Why do you think you would like Demon Slayer?
The reason why I wouldn't, man, this sounds kind of superficial, but like, I mean, there's nothing about the story right in the beginning that was like, gotcha. It was like, I felt familiar, right? I'm not saying that as a completely bad thing. It is really hard to come up with something original. I mean, with the amount of fucking anime out there, man, they have like all kinds of shit. But I mean, the main character, super nice kid, leaves home, comes back, family's dead, right? And
no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
It's a pretty bigger trauma than you would normally get, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this one was like,
it's darker.
I think something traumatic happens to the character on the first episode. This one was like, let's push it up a scale. So, and he comes across some kind of motivation or some kind of like hope, right? And it's someone with a potential to make a difference, right? A demon slayer, I suppose. But what's nice about this one is that he has a sister that, I guess, what you would imagine the world would be scared of, like a demon.
Yeah.
Like a demonized sister. And he has to, I guess you're left with the feeling that he has to find some way to care for her, and she has to find some way to cope with being this thing or be able to control it to any degree, right?
Probably similar to Tokyo Ghoul main character, right?
Oh, yeah. He's trying to fix himself or just trying to maintain. In a way it is, but and something about being like having a sibling and seeing that it's like another layer to it. But
it's like, what would you do if someone came up and said, dude, we need to kill your sister because she's going to kill a bunch of people, including you, because she's a demon now. Right. And you're like, and I mean, that part actually kind of shocked me because I remember being like, I literally am like, well, I've seen a demon just killed the rest of my family.
Right.
My brother is now a demon. This guy's willing to kill my brother before he kills me and everyone in this village.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I think with me, I would probably kill you myself, dude.
What?
I would definitely protect you at all costs. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you had said that.
No, right, yeah. So I would kill the other guy for even questioning your intentions, dude.
You first.
What's up?
Oh, nothing, man. So, okay. So everyone, this might be the last anime podcast due to a death in the family.
I hope you enjoyed. I think I would like it too, but I remember the first day we watched it. We watched like 5 animes. And that first day, we both said, like, oh, it was kind of the most mundane or most predictable one so far out of all the ones we watched, which is funny. We watched a bunch of good ones, though, so that's not really fair.
Yeah.
Like, I watched, like, Gurren Lagann and stuff like that, which I still need to go down that avenue. But this sounds really, really lame as well. Maybe there'll be a slight more appeal knowing that, like, everyone else loves it. Like,
yeah.
Because I think My Hero kind of has that effect a little bit, where it's, like, good, obviously, but I think the world liking it does add a flair. It's like, I hate even admitting that, but I think that does add a flair of, like, interest for me.
Right. Yeah, that's so hard, actually, to pinpoint, because, like, there are a lot of shows out there that have so much hype, and I'll tell you right off the bat, like, I usually will think less of it, like, but this show, there's so much hype, and you know, I'm not gonna lie, I did like the first episode a lot, and I expect the show to be good, honestly. Like, I usually have a good idea whether I would like a show, and it sounds so, I don't know, this sounds kind of like conceited, I guess. But, like, maybe not conceited, but, like, I have a good idea of whether I like a show or not on the first episode.
Right.
And, yeah, I'm usually right about it. Man, I sound like a fucking
That does
douchebag
not
saying that,
sound.
but-
No, it does. It just means you know yourself decently well.
yeah, I guess so. But, like, so, yeah, if I watch a show and I'm like, the first episode, I'm like, okay, this is alright. And I'm like, you know, maybe give it a couple episodes because my friends told me I should give it a couple episodes. Usually it will stay decent.
Cool.
My mind usually doesn't change. Side note, watched Hunter x Hunter, right? So that's another show like that. Watched the first episode, I was like, okay, this is not bad. You know, just 90-something episodes in. It's still...
Just not bad?
It's just not bad. I will say, like, so the pacing changes dramatically.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm in the arc that I think people fucking adore.
Okay.
So, you know, there's different arcs in, like, a show, right?
Right.
So, for those of you who've seen it out there, I'm in the Chimera arc. And, yeah, John, you know, we talked about earlier, like, how the show was dark and stuff, and, like, you know, it was strangely dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever it hits that arc, for some reason, at that point, it's just like, fuck it, not gonna hide it anymore. We're dark as shit. And,
okay.
They do some, yeah, it's like it becomes a very pretty fucked up arc, and you're just like, damn. It completely changes, like, character and pace and everything, and you're just like, wow. I'm not saying that's for the better or not. It's definitely different, and it feels nice having such a change of pace. But this arc is pretty awesome, but just because something is darker doesn't mean it's always better. So,
right.
You know, look at something like Gantz or something. It's super dark, but I think that show is complete shit.
Oh, yeah, we should talk about that one day. It's 4 o'clock. Do you need to run out?
Oh, it's time? Oh, gosh.
What are you doing?
Damn it. I lose track of time. Gotta meet someone at the gym.
Oh, okay. Should we end it by talking about something, or should we just end it?
Yeah, end it by talking about something.
All right. How about
All right, peace out, dude.
Do you do you have anything specific that you want to mention? I have something that I think might be kind of fun to talk about. But do you have anything?
Maybe what we're watching?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Cool.
So, gonna be watching probably. Yeah, I mean, fucking Haikyuu. We didn't get a chance to really speak too much about that, but
Nope.
yeah, I hate myself just because it's such a. I don't know why I do this, but it's such a popular show. I want to hate shows like that.
Yeah.
What is that feeling? Because it's so shit.
I don't know. I mean, for me, I've said the same thing before, where it's like my biggest. You know what it is? It's like a fear, I think, of like the system that was put before you being able to control who you are.
part of that.
Because it is
It's
that.
working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that 100% is what it is where people sat in a room and they went like, you know what, Matthew will like this. Well, they didn't use your name, and it worked. And yeah. So.
And I love it. I love Haikyuu. It's such a
Hell yeah.
damn. It's so much fun. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be watching Haikyuu and Hunter x Hunter. I will probably, hopefully, have Hunter x Hunter done with next week. Just because it's so easy to watch on the side still, and Haikyuu is kind of similar, except Haikyuu's more like it grabs my attention a little bit more. Like I remember, I mean, a lot of times I'll like look up from whatever game I'm playing or whatever I'm doing, and like kind of just watch it.
Right.
So I do enjoy that a bit. And probably like 5 other animes, but those are the main ones I can remember.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to watch some more of Haikyuu as well. I'm going to watch a little more Soul Eater. I really like the graphics there. I'm literally looking at my list right now. I watched half of a Bleach episode. Stopped.
Wait, why?
I don't know. I was like...
Not feeling it?
I just wasn't... I don't know. I think I was just like, I want to watch something else. I watched the first episode of Psyche K.
Oh.
Is that how you say it?
The Disastrous Life of Psyche.
Yeah.
I thought it was Psyche, but yeah, Psyche K.
So I was looking up animes that were similar to Mob Psycho, and this one got recommended because holy schnoz, there's so many things that are similar, but not at all though. It's a Psyche K is definitely the whatever Dangerous Life. Unfortunately,
yeah, disastrous.
Yeah. Shitty
Yeah,
life.
You nailed it.
Yeah, I got it. Is way more of a classic anime. Like it's like the classic anime version of Mob Psycho. I'll say the first episode didn't catch me, so I'll have to watch it again. It just seemed way too similar, but it was funny as shit. I was like definitely laughing. The humor though was like it punches you in the face. Like it's like
over and over and over. It was like super fast paced.
Yeah, and like the thing is, if you don't like how the jokes are set up right off the bat, you're going to have 100 jokes in 3 minutes that you won't like. So like, I think there was a point where I was kind of like, oh, like man, like 3 things that said in a row to me like was kind of like the like super unfunny. So my brain was kind of set up to where like the next like 10 attacks, I was kind of like, but then finally like I was like, okay, I'm taking it too seriously, and that's when it became a little funnier. So that is pretty much that's my.
It really does like combo the shit out of you. Like,
dude,
I was telling John earlier that like the second season isn't, or last I checked, second season wasn't dubbed. So you're literally watching the subtitles and you're like reading as fast as fucking possible.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Holy shit! You're like, like trying to like throw a laugh in every now and then, and it's like it's so fucking fast paced.
It is. So I'll say I'm looking at my keep watching list, and it goes on for a minute. But what I'm actually interested in trying to watch next week, Assassination Classroom, a little bit. Did you finish that?
Yeah. Oh, I did finish it.
Oh, nice.
That's another show with a lot of hype. That I was like, watched the first episode and I knew that it was, or I figured it was gonna be okay.
Okay.
And yeah, all the way through. It was alright.
It was really? It ended up just being all right.
Yeah. I mean, that's my personal preference. You know,
okay, I'm interested. Okay, I'll get there. Because I feel like you liked it more in the middle. I feel like when we talked about it before, you liked it more. Like you were kind of like, dude, I like it. Yeah.
As I watched it, yeah, it was. No, I still hold that ground. Like I did like it more, but it still was like it was a difference between like it's alright to it's alright.
Okay, cool, good.
Like,
all right.
Yeah,
I'll take it. Black Clover's on my thing. I probably won't watch much more of that. Let's be completely honest.
You get the same feel as Fairy Tail. I got the same feel with Fairy Tail.
Yeah, Fairy Tail. I actually watched 2 episodes and then I think I'm done.
Yeah, I watched 20 episodes. I watched 17 episodes of Black Clover. So
okay, cool. You went down it.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Erased. I will continue. There's no doubt. Blue Exorcist. I still watch. Or I'm still going to watch, and Fairy Tail, and then I'm almost done. I'm going to watch a little more Fairy Tail, actually. I'm kind of interested. I don't know why, but I just kind of am. And then I will finish Samurai Champloo in the next day or two, because I think I have 3 episodes left.
Right on.
Yeah.
Tell me when you're done with that.
I will.
I'm
stoked, bro. I will say this. This is kind of like a random one. It's not even an anime, but I will say a show that I am very hooked on on Netflix, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't even think you've watched it. The Toys That Made Us.
All right, you told me about it.
So it's funny because the intro song sings about the show, like it's this like really cheesy song, and it's just like it's like it literally goes like it's an 8-part series, like. So it did so well that they literally did a new season. So now there's 4 more episodes. So if you haven't seen it, it is. No, I'm just kidding. Well, also Green Eggs and Ham are on Netflix too, and I feel like we should watch that randomly.
Totally.
So
add that to the anime list.
Yeah, might as well. So this show basically goes really, really, really into detail, interviewing everyone behind a particular brand. So like Hello Kitty, it literally interviews like every employee, the people who created it, big fans of it, and it's really detail oriented. And it's kind of YouTube video-ish where the host is like, the toys that made us. So the thing is, like he's like this like over enthusiastic weirdo, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
So they cover like Hello Kitty. I've watched that documentary probably 30 times.
Oh.
It's so good. Like,
good, huh?
Well, it's like kind of like the future that I want to create anyways. It's like, an IP of a cute character and blah, 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 blah. And they, build merch and stuff. So if you're interested though, season 3, the 4 episodes it's covering, the first one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I just watched this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Super inspiring.
So did it talk about like the beginnings of TMNT?
Yeah, completely. Like,
so was it like more brutal?
Oh, right, because you mentioned that. So it was. I mean, it was dark. It was a dark comic. It wasn't like gory and stuff, but it was dark. Like just the whole vibe and feel. It was more like, how the movie was darker than the cartoon. It was a little darker than the movie. So the movie was more of an ode to the comic. Power Rangers, the toys.
Sweet.
My Little Pony, which I bet that's gonna be like my second favorite, and then professional wrestling. So like wrestling toys and stuff. It's a good show.
Just a side note, you remember the gangster Dragon Ball video? These
videos have been recommended to me.
He has a Power Ranger one.
Oh gosh.
It's fucking amazing.
I will watch it.
It's really, really good.
Good, I'm down. That dude's hilarious, yeah.
So funny.
Dudes. But yeah, so I guess that's our list. We had a great time. Obviously, if you are just listening to this podcast, you haven't kept up with the videos, just uploaded the video of us actually going to Anime NYC. It was a really fun vlog. It's like 8 minutes long and just like super anime music and a good time. We also did other stuff in New York that we're going to record. And of course, at the beginning of this podcast, I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to include it into this podcast. We reacted to the newest episode of My Hero Academia. That was so good. It was the first like action-y ass one.
It was a good one.
But yeah, we went into detail about that. So that's it. I think for this podcast, Matt's got to dip out. He's going to go to the gym and work out while I sit here and get fatter and uglier, dude.
Yay.
I like that shirt too, by the way.
Thanks. It's what do you call that? My neighbor Totaro.
My neighbor Kiki.
My neighbor Kiki. My neighbor Princess Nononoke.
Yeah. That's it. Oh, dude, I just farted.
Dude, sweet.
That's crazy, dude. I didn't think I had it in me, man. That's my dog right there, dude. That's it.
I'm the man.
Stay tuned. If you haven't kept up, you can keep up with us on Instagram at intro2, the number 2 anime. So the Instagram has actually been growing a lot. The likes on the pictures have been growing a lot. So like every picture we post gets like 200 likes or so, which is really sick on Instagram. We're about to hit 1,000 followers on Instagram as well. On this podcast, we're at 1.26 thousand. We're on the road to, you know what? The goal for this podcast, the overall goal, Matt, we can shut it down right after this point, is to get over 9,000 subscribers. Just for the meme, dude.
Let's go.
That's the main goal. And also, we're always trying to configure this podcast and kind of figure out new ideas and ways to do it. The vlog was a really, really fun aspect to throw in there. And yeah, I think, we're always getting better at this. The episodes are always going to get more clean and concise and to the point, which today was definitely, I feel like, good and fast and concise.
Yeah. We only deviated just a little bit.
We did deviate at one point and talked about like some random shit that I can't remember at this point for like seriously 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was like the longest bit.
But we're choosing better stories. I think that's the important part. Is when you deviate, you pick a good story.
Yeah.
And dash dat, bro. But yeah, that was
We're gonna
fun.
look back on this. It's like we talked about donuts or something.
Exactly.
Or some pickles.
I'm so glad we chose to do this today instead of the end of the day when you were last here, because we were both so zonked. Even watching the footage, we both looked so tired.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and today I felt like it was just like, yeah, we both had a lot of energy, so I'm kind of glad we did it
I
today.
slept so much when I got back, dude.
I'm sure.
Literally just woke up.
Oh, really? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
I'm kidding.
I was about to say it's 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, have fun with your day, and everyone out there, I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned every Sunday or Monday. Right now, it's probably gonna be Monday. Every Monday, new podcast, full length. You can check us out on Apple, iTunes, or Spotify. Links are in the description down below. With whether you're listening, dude, or watching, bro, you can just go down there. Check that ish out.
Shoot.
Yeah, we out here chilling in the club.
Damn,
Oh, shit, I went there,
son.
dude.
Shit.
That's my classic trope that I always go back to is chilling in the club. I gotta change it
Yeah.
up. Chilling
Nice.
in the... Alright.
Just took a DNA test. 100% bad bitch.
Yeah. I don't know what that's from at all.
I heard it today. I was like, okay.
I like
That's
that.
a horrible fucking lyric.
What the hell is
But I was
that
like,
from?
it stuck with it though. It
It's
stuck in my
good.
head.
So, someone's gonna be like, that's literally the #1 song out. How did you guys not know?
Yeah, and you guys, and Matt, you're an idiot. You literally sang it in the worst possible way possible because I don't even think it goes that way. I
Okay,
don't even know if
good.
those are the lyrics.
It's stuck with me forever, but it doesn't even say that at all. It just sounds like
Yeah,
I'm a
exactly.
bad bitch, and that's what you thought it was.
I'm a
Thank
bad
you, guys.
bitch. Thank you guys.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.